And meet a man whose passion for British automobiles has created a collection like no other. Welcome back. Jaguar, Aston Martin, MG, Rolls-Royce, most anyone will recognize these names. They're all British-made cars, and certain models of them are very rare finds in the world of classic car collecting. But an Altoona man has taken his passion of finding and restoring these unique vehicles to a whole new level. His collection is amazing, and the attention to detail is exceptional, and it's what makes these cars shine. Now we introduce you to Lenny Fiore.
My name is Lenny Fiore. Along with my wife Frankie, we own Lenny's Classic Car Collection, which consists of about 40 cars today. I mean, it's all ever-changing as we restore cars. It also has 7 North American champions in it, many first-place concourse winners, and we're pretty well known throughout the Northeast in the classic car circuit. One of the questions I always get is, how did you get started and what kind of passion? Because when you see the collection, you have to understand it's really a passion, just not a collection. And it really starts back when I was a kid. Well, once I got to the University of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh had everything. I mean, they had all the foreign car dealers. And what really caught my eye is we went to the Jaguar dealership in Pittsburgh, and I saw my first Jaguar XKE. And it was just took my awe. I mean, and I knew someday I had to own that car. In 1978, I finally scraped together enough money to buy one. At the time, would have been worth about $4,000 or $5,000. One of my cousins told me that there was a guy in Bellwood, down the street here, that had one for sale. So a neighbor of mine and a good friend of mine asked him to go along with me and see if the car is worth buying. So we went to the garage, and it was a big garage, had about 6 or 8 cars in it, and it was filthy. The car was so dirty, you've seen it here already, that it's white. I thought it was great when I bought it. That's how dirty it was. There were a lot of problems with the car, and he wanted $4,700 for it. So finally we talked him down to $4,200, and we went in his kitchen with his mom, and we were sitting down at the table, and I'm writing out the check for $4,200, and he starts crying. I mean, he's bawling. I can't sell the car. I don't want to sell the car. I can't do it. It's my favorite car. So his mother tried to say, you got to sell that car. You need the money. And finally she said, he's not going to sell the car today. So I was disappointed, walked out, and I asked my friend. My friend asked me, he said, what bank do you have? And I told him the name of the bank. So he went to the bank and got 1s, 5s, and 10s, $4,200 worth. Put them in a brown paper bag, went back to the house. I knocked at the kitchen door, and his mother came to the door, and I said, is your son still here? She said, he's upstairs. She said, but I don't think he's going to sell that car today. I said, well, let me talk to him. So we went in and sat at the kitchen table, and he come down and he says, oh, I can't sell that car. I just can't sell that car. I'm in love with that car. So I took the paper bag and shook it like this and dumped money all over the kitchen table, and it flew everywhere. And his mother grabbed him by the ear and he says, you're selling that car. You need the money. You have to sell that car. So that's how I bought my first car. So that started the passion, and it kind of grew from there. 8 years ago, I probably owned 5 cars. Today, it's just a little less than 40. Over the years, we restored 1 or 2 cars a year, and I buy some cars that are already restored, but most of them we restore ourselves. Currently, we have 2 cars that are under restoration. One that's about 70% complete, the 1951 Bentley Mark 6 drop-head coupe. It's one of probably about 20 left in the world. And then a 1935 SS1 Tour, which is one of 35 left in the world. A very rare car. Those 2 we have under restoration, and then we have the XKE that we have that I bought with the building. The XKE is up in our restoration shop, ready to be taken apart. And it's pretty typical the kind of car we pick, I wouldn't want to try to start out with too much less than that. One of the most important parts of picking any car to restore is to make sure it has all the parts, no matter what they look like, because we can always restore anything, but you need to have the piece, because it gets a lot more expensive if you have to buy the piece and then restore it. When we're done with it, it will probably be worth around $250,000 to $350,000. And today it's worth, it says it sits about maybe $30,000 or $40,000. As we go through the restoration shop, you'll see one of the most important parts of the whole restoration shop is our pest control department. And in charge of the pest control department is Aston Martin. And everybody laughs when I tell them that as they're walking through, but if you think about it, all these cars have leather interiors. And one mouse in a leather interior can do $10,000 worth of damage in a weekend. So it is very important. The pest control department is very important. And the funny thing about Aston Martin, I first named them, we got them, they were 5 weeks old. We actually named them Aston Martin. But in about 6 months, we got them fixed. And when we got him back from the vet, and he said, you realize Martin is a Martina. So now they're Aston Martina. Everybody asks me the question, what next? And to answer that question, you have to understand why I'm here today. I was looking for a new home for Lenny's classic car collection. And really because I was out of space. If I did any more cars or bought any more cars, I had no place to put them. And the other thing is that I showed these cars that were becoming pretty unique because of their winning North American champions. And they really have some cars that most people have never seen in person. And I showed them all over the Northeast. But I really couldn't show them in Altoona. And that was one of my passions, is to have a place where I could show people what we do and the restorations we do and how beautiful these cars really are for what I was doing. As you can see, my showroom here has 19 or 20 cars in it, depending on how we arrange them. And I own a little less than 40, of which all aren't restored yet. I have 7 or 8 that aren't restored. But the 2 upstairs, when they're done, probably next spring, I'll have to take cars out of here. So I'm pretty much out of space again. And my future goal is probably the 4th floor. I have a lot of great ideas, and I'm not sure which direction I'm going, but I think that'll be the next way we go, do the 4th floor. I think Lenny's Classic Car Collection is a kaleidoscope of collectible British cars.